Alright guys, back at it. I apologize. Something went wrong with my audio and it got disconnected here. We should now be rocking and rolling. Having a good time. How's everybody doing this morning? All right. All right, let me drop a line in my community for people to go find me here. Channel. All right. Okay. There we go. Close. I don't know what happened there. It's working now. We may have a breaker here. We'll see if we get it. We just wicked this low. That is 27. That is quite a reaction right here. And we swept these lows barely. That's quite a reaction. It's 2 minutes before open, 3 minutes before open. I'm not going to take it, but this is a good reaction right here. We should hit this. We did hit this high. So, a little discombobulated this morning. Okay, let's get that recording going. Good morning, good morning. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Today's Friday. It's going to be a blessed day today. Today is another day the Lord has made. We are going to end the day today with another green day. That will make 4 green days in a row. On stream, live. Let's make it happen. We're going to make it happen this morning. So we're going to be careful. We had a huge expansion range yesterday, and we are in the middle of the retracement potentially or reversal. Do we know if it's a retracement or reversal? No, we don't. We don't know if it's a retracement or a reversal. We just know it's running the other direction from what it did yesterday. Now, typically with a large move previous day, you can expect choppy price action. Right now, it doesn't look choppy. It actually looks really good. This morning, before I got on live, I went long right here, and I was able to make a nice trade to this swing high. So I am already 1 for 1. I took this trade right here, sold right about there. About 19 handles is what that came out to be. And the risk was really low. I mean, that was the risk that I had. It closed below that level. That is what I would have had. Took that on my personal account. So up on that. But we're going to see if we got anything else. I'm thinking we have a market maker sell model. What do I mean by a market maker sell model? If you look at the 5-minute, we have our original consolidation. We have the beginning of a market maker sell model. We have the buy side of the model. We have our smart money reversal. And then now we are on our distribution stages. So I'm wanting our distribution stage to come up a little bit higher. I would like to hit this low right here. This swing low is ideal, but if we don't have the energy to get that high, I would want to go, I would like it to get up to here. Come on. I'd like it to get up to there. And we're fairly close to that level already. But we just got open here. Let's see how price reacts. My guess is we're going to get a continuation lower. If we do get a continuation lower, I'm looking at this as a breaker. Don't want to take it short yet. Let's see where this closes. You could drop down to the 30-second to see what kind of... we got a fair value gap right there. I like that. Let's get situated here. I like this reaction on this fair value gap. Would like to see it run right here. We got relatively equal lows down here. I am going to do a small short right here. I'm okay if it tries to wick up here and grab this, but I want to see it stay lower. I'm going to keep a tight stop on this. That's all I would want to see. Now I would want it to move lower at this point. Let's look at our regular trading hour range. We do have a little bit of a range up here that we might want to fill in. That'd be my only concern, but I would like to see us run for these equal lows right now. We may or may not get it. Okay, there's the tick entry to that swing low that I referenced over here on the 5-minute. Okay, I don't know if that means we're going to completely reverse, but it hit it to the tick. It went to your previous entry again. Also, I am bearish on the day. I think we're in the market maker sell model side. Good morning, Diane. Good morning to you. Still messing with these highs right here. Now, the thing I mentioned before is that when we have a large expansion day, you need to be prepared for some choppy price action that could either manipulate you out of a move or really cause confusion on what's happening in the trade. So this hasn't been the cleanest so far. We're on the 30-second. Let's bump up to the minute and let's take a look there. So it's good morning, Mark. How you doing, my friend? Glad to have you this morning. It's Friday. We're going to end the week on a strong note. That's the goal today. I want to see it melt right here. Just absolutely fall apart. That's what I'd love to see. We're looking for these lows right here. We're looking for those equal lows to be taken out. That's what I'd like to see. I don't want it to close green. And it closed green there. Never like to see a green candle. Especially when you want it to fall apart. Patience, patience, patience is everything this morning. We could see price come up to this level here. That's an option. We could see some consolidation before we see stage 2 distribution. We've obviously already had stage 1 distribution, and before we see stage 2, typically you're going to see some type of consolidation, consolidation move, which is not uncommon for a market maker sell model. If you go back and you look at it, at other market maker sell models, you'll see it do this, and then it'll do some consolidation here, and then continue lower. Now, this is probably not enough consolidation. We probably want to see more, to be honest. Alkai, how you doing, my friend? Good to have you this morning. You know what I forgot to add? Let's put on a little background music. It's been a little stale and quiet. I like the little just lo-fi. Let's see if we can get this right. Now, if at any time, if this is too high, tell me. I can turn it down a little bit. I try to keep it relatively the same. Just let me know if it's a little too loud. And I'll only know from you guys this morning. Hello, Peter. How you doing, my friend? Looking for some type of retracement here and find some resistance into a reversal to see if we can get a bigger move lower. We got equal lows here. What did I have over here? That's really nothing. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad you're doing well. I think I had some audio issues earlier before. I had my brother on a Discord I was chatting with. I was trying to get him to come on live with me. And so I originally went live while I was on a call with him on Discord. And I was going to see if I could have him jump on. He also trades. But I went live and no audio. So not sure what's going on there. Let me set the mood in my background here. Nice. I feel good today, guys. I feel blessed. I feel blessed today. Today, I'm happy. You can't hear anything? I know my audio's on. I know audio's on my end, so I know people can hear me there. I'll turn up the desktop audio. Tell me if you guys can hear that for the background music. And if I have to, I'll jump on my phone just to confirm everything is working well. But I feel good today. Today feels great. Your mic is fine. That's what I thought. Yeah. Do you, Peter? Do you hear just a little bit of background music, or is it too loud, too soft? I just need, as ICT would say, I need a 5x5. A 5x5. Okay, good. So Adzi, it might be your computer on your end, big guy. Perfect, perfect. Now this time I'm gonna make sure we don't end up with some Christmas music towards the end. It like goes through this giant list and it ends up with Christmas music. I don't want Christmas music on my streams. No. Okay. So this price action here is a little jumbled. I don't even want to take a breaker off of this. Okay. I'm not really interested in that, even though I'm fairly confident this is going to hit. We don't have an inversion in here. There's nothing in here I want to take. It kind of looked like yesterday. If you look at yesterday's price action around this time, around 9:45, it looked almost exactly like this. It's just you got to wait through it. I did take a small short, all cards on the table here that I ended up closing. It didn't work out. I did take a long here before stream and got a nice win out of that. So just sitting here waiting for a good setup. me see if there's anything going with the 4 hour here. 4 hours is going to close in 13 minutes. Nothing that's groundbreaking on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, the 15-minute looks the best. I really would like to hit this level right here. We swept this low right here. If we get an aggressive candle this direction, this is an inversion we can play to the upside where we could bring our stops to break even. If we get nice momentum here, that would be a nice little long to this as a target. We'll see if it wants to do that. Good morning, DDT. Adzi, I'm glad you got that figured out. Even if we were going to go short here, I would want to see us hit this level here. I would want to see a wick into this fair value gap for confirmation of a rejection of it. Going short now and leaving this open makes me would cause me to question my entry. But I'm not interested in going short yet either. Good morning, Deborah. How you doing? Glad to have you. DDT, how was your week so far? You doing good? Same for you, Peter. How was your week? Diane, you took all your trades pre-market. You're done for the day? Nice. You know, that's the nice thing about trading is you can be done before your day even gets started. For those of you that don't like to chat and just are here to listen, watching this level right here, we want to see how price is going to react to this. We currently just made equal highs right here. I really want it to come into this. Would love to see it break or find support. One or the other, I don't care. We're just reading order flow at the moment to see what kind of price action we're going to get. Are we going to find resistance here, stay beneath the consequent encroachment and melt to these equal lows? Are we going to violate this, close above it, and run these highs to this breaker right here, which is this right here? So we got a high, low, higher high. So we look at this as a breaker. This can be treated as a breaker. I'm not saying it's going to reverse right there, but we want to see how price reacts right there as well. All of this is having key levels and seeing how price responds to those levels. Been trying to catch reversals at major levels, but keep getting blown through. I feel ya. If you were trying yesterday, you would have. Everybody blew their account. Okay, everybody blew their account. It's a tough one. Here's this is gonna work out. It's probably gonna get it before we get there. Got a long on NQ during external or the ETH for 13 points. Now you're waiting. Remember yesterday I was green when you ended your live. I should have quit. I feel you, Deborah. I feel you. I did not get back in my cash account. No, I did not. Oh, there's our. Oh, that was nice. I'm gonna take a micro long right here towards this high. See this redelivery to that? See the redelivery? We came down, we hit this, and now there should be no reason why we hit this. If we don't hit this, That's a signature in price telling us that we are more bearish than we thought. Okay, that's what that signature in price is. This is I'm doing a tiny trade. I mean, it's nothing right now. A single micro, but looking for this high to hit right here, and ideally run into this range, this level here. So this is order flow. We got a close above, we retraced, hit this level, and we rejected it. That tells me we may want to see higher prices, and it's enough signature in price for me to take that long, considering we've already ran down quite a bit with all of this price action. So that's enough for me to consider this for a small micro play. You would close your position if it's not going to work out. This is where you close your position right here. A close below this level means to close the trade. A close below this level is a close of the trade. See how it respected the consequent encroachment there? It came back down to the consequent encroachment. I'm okay with that. And see how it closed green? That's a great signature in price. I just hope we're not on a seek and destroy Friday. As long as we're not on a seek and destroy Friday, this should work out. If it's a seek and destroy Friday, we're going to find out right now. Seek and destroy means it's going to come up, act like it's going to break out, but then changes directions. If it's seek and destroy, this will be our rejection block, meaning it's going to reject that. And that will give us a loss for today. That would give us a loss for today. Let's see, what was our regular trading hours? We still have a little bit of range right here. That's our low. I do like it still. I do like it. We'll just have to see what price wants to do. Watching to close below this level here. And if it's too far, have a hard stop loss so that you don't hold past what you're comfortable with. But it looks like it's going to drop here. Okay, that's a close below. We are out. And unfortunately, that gives us a loss on the day. So one loss for me. I'm not counting that other small trade that I did. this will be my first loss, and now we're going to sit and wait. I'll only allow myself to take one more trade on my account to see if we can rectify that loss. Okay, sorry I missed a couple of messages here. Ben trying to, yes. Peter got long. Deborah, remember yesterday you told me that. DDT, risk management keeps me in the game though. Risk management is everything. Last Friday I was $200 from being funded. I kept chasing today. I'm waiting if nothing. Yep, come back next week. Do you have access on the order flow on another screen? I have order flow on another screen. So what I've shared multiple times is this screen here is my main screen. I have 3 different charts. I have the 1 minute, 5 minute, and then off to the left is a 15 minute. I have a micro account on another screen that is for my fundeds and my eval accounts when I am in a funded or eval trade. That sits, I don't know why it shows it like that, but it's right here. It's a little, obviously I don't know why it's looking like that. And then on my other, then above that, which is off screen, is my cash and personal account, which I took that trade on my personal account and took that for a loss. I will never show my personal account, and I shared it yesterday that I won't show my personal account just for the sake that I can justify showing all demo accounts. So even though it's eval or it's a performance account, it's still on a demo account. And so I just want to protect myself and not get into trouble by showing live accounts, which is my personal account. So most of my accounts anyway are already going to be on my funded and eval accounts, so I'll be able to share those with you. But everything else, or the cash account, just is on Trade of 8. It's a Trade of 8 account that I have on this screen right here. So when I'm looking at this direction, I have a few other things on that screen too. I see all my chats, you guys chatting on the screen, which is what I'm reading right now, as well as on different tabs I have my Trade of 8 account. So that's my setup. That I have right now. So far I'm disappointed with this trade right here. I'm disappointed in the violation of this fair value gap. We ran liquidity here. It wasn't an A+, but it was probably an A setup to run this high. So now I'm questioning the quality of the moves this morning. So we're going to be patient and sit and wait to see if we have anything that shows us better price action. Adzi, let me go in and verify. The code is DTJ. The code's DTJ. Oh, look at that reaction there. Let's see if it runs higher now. But yeah, if it didn't work, don't buy it at that. It should work, and I can give you another link. Let me drop the actual link for the affiliate banners and links. This is the actual link. Right there. And then you can use code DTJ. Now I can't test it because I'm not allowed to use my own link if I purchase something, unfortunately. Yeah, this right here, guys, look at this. Look at this candle and then how it stops, and now we're sitting here. Seek and destroy. We're going to be patient and wait. It will start running. It'll start moving. But you can just see this price action. I'm not willing to take another loss in this crap. Yeah, it's 80% off right now, Joseph. I typically, if I'm buying one, it's usually the 50K accounts. The 25K accounts are great if you're just starting out, because they're literally like 17 or 20 bucks or something like that. And the only thing I don't like about them, the drawdown is only $1,500. So if you're starting out and you're only using micros, single micros, 1 or 2 micros, $1,500 is plenty. You should be totally fine with using that. It's when you start getting into 5 micros or 10 micros that $1,500, if you make multiple bad trades, that gives you 15 trades if you're honest in your stop loss. All right, so there's our high that I've been waiting for. It also comes into the 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. Drag it over here. That's the 15-minute fair value gap. It's a SIBI, and we hit the consequent encroachment of that. Okay. So I'm liking this as a signature in price. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the like button, guys, if you like this current screen. If you like seeing more screen compared to seeing it like this, where I like the background moving. I think it looks cooler, but for practical reasons and for just your ability to see the screen, I think this is a little bit better. You can just see more on the screen. So if you like it this way, hit the like button for me. I appreciate it. Small caps, no. This is for futures trading. So ES, NQ, I think they allow some other types of trading. Let me see what you can do this on. Let's see, benefits. All right, so it's right here. Give me a small second and I will fix this Alright, so for Apex, this is what you are able to trade. You have interest futures, you have currency futures, agriculture, energy, you can trade metals, so you can do gold on here. One tick, 10 cents is $100. 10 cents is $100. That's insane. I'm looking at doing more gold, or doing gold. You can do micros, and you can do Bitcoin and Ethereum. So those are what you can trade when it comes to Apex, and all of it is futures. So they don't do any other types of trading. They don't do, what were you asking? Small cap. They don't do small caps. Let me reduce the music there. Thanks, Alkai. I think it was the song. Must be the actual song that was playing. Sorry about that. A little too intense. Okay, let's get back to the charts here. Watching this, we're now breaking out of this consolidation, and it decided it wants to move higher. We have some equal highs that I have marked out up here that I thought were interesting. The 15 minutes still has about 7 minutes before we close. Interesting. Well, thanks for letting me know, Wilhelm. If it's 70%, that means Apex has changed their discounts. So if I was going to get one, let's see if I was to get one. Yeah, everything's 70% right now. I just tried two different coupon codes as well, and it's all at 70%. So let me change that. So Apex removed, they just do it without telling people when they're going to do it. So they just changed their discounts to 70%. So don't buy anything right now, Joseph. Just, I know you may want to, but don't. Wait till they give another one. They might hold this for a week, but they'll end up doing another 80, if not 90% discount. They always do, because they've done it so much now that if they do a 50% discount, they're literally going to have zero sales, because everybody knows they do these large discounts. So they'll do it again. Just don't buy at 70% if it's just not worth it. Yes, yeah. The discount when they change the discount, it applies to all the codes. So my code will always be the most up to date discount that Apex provides. They just make it super simple that it applies. So if somebody says, "Oh, here, use my code 90% off," it will still only give you 70%. If that's the discount amount that Apex is giving. The way Apex works is you can request a custom code. So I could have requested save 90 off, and I could share that with you, but you would still only get a 70% discount for the current discounts they have. I'm not liking this music. Yes, it is the affiliate program. And even if you were to try to tell them you want to become an affiliate and use your own link, they don't let you use your own link. I think their goal was to prevent everybody from becoming affiliates and just using their own link and getting extra discounts. I can't even use this code DTJ. They don't let you use it. they don't let me use it, my own code. All right, so we just created equal highs right here as well. So there's a good chance we're going to run that. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm waiting for the reversal. I'm not interested in the continuation higher at this point. So support team is not the best. Sons of Rhythm, I understand, and I mean, what do I say? Here's what I'll say. I say you do what you think is safest and best for you. I personally have not had really any issues with them, and I can only speak for myself. Ghost orders, denied payouts. I'm sure it has happened. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else other than myself. And I rarely have anything like that happen to me. Nick Hill, trying to find one answer about fair value gaps. Where does price mostly react from? 1, the high of the fair value gap. 2, the low of the fair value gap. 3, the middle point of the fair value gap. The answer is all of them. And all of them have slightly different meanings. Let's talk about it. When you're in consolidation, everything I just said is pointless. Okay? If you're in consolidation like this, disregard everything in regards to fair value gaps, because consolidation violates almost all of these principles. All of these terms we're referring to. It will respect it, as you can see, it respects it right here, runs higher, but then violates it. Consolidation, you have to avoid. When we're in flow, when we're in a buy program, sell program, the ideal area you want to focus on, if we're going short, let's say we're looking at a short trade, we want to look at price respecting the lower half of the fair value gap. Now, you're going to say, well, Tyler, why did you go all the way to the body? And why did you not go to this wick sitting right here? Because ICT says if there's a gap between the bodies, you go to the body. You count this as part of the fair value gap. So this hit the consequent encroachment, body stayed in discount, and everything else also stayed in discount. This is showing heavy price action. When price starts coming up higher, but the bodies are still respecting, I'm still fine with that. If the bodies start closing above the consequent encroachment, my response is it must not be as heavy as we think. It doesn't mean it still can't go down. The absolute guarantee that you want to not consider it as a move is when we see price. Come, are you going to let me do this? It's not going to. It doesn't let me do it. Is when we see price close above the fair value gap. When we see price close above it like this. At that point, if it starts failing, I'm not as interested. To me, it's bad price action, it's not clean, and I don't want to be a part of it. The same goes for the other direction. Is if we're bullish and we have bullish price action, we want to see the same on the buy side. However, you look at this example right here, what happens with the bodies? The bodies close, they still close inside the fair value gap, but they close beneath it. So I'm looking at it as maybe it's not as heavy. But what do we get? We get a nice reaction to this. This is a buy program. This is actually, this can be considered, actually it isn't. When you see price do this, no, it was close. But when you see price come in barely and tag the fair value gap, it's called something different. It's called an institutional order flow entry drill. And that is a great signature in price that tells you price is moving higher quickly. Right? It barely touched it. Let me see if I can find one. And the only way to read those ones is you wait for the close. I know we had one yesterday. Here's one right here. We have this fair value gap, and what do? We wick up into it, hit the consequent encroachment, and immediately close lower, and then what happens after that? We melt. Signature and price. You just need to watch price action a lot and start seeing what price is doing to help determine your response to it. So if we're looking that we're in a buy program, which it looks as if we are in a buy program, we would want to see this find support. We want to see how price reacts to this fair value gap. And if you're confident that we have higher price action, maybe this is the level you're targeting, equal highs, you can take a long off of this fair value gap with a close below this swing low right here. You can turn that into a model. It's not my favorite, but you can use that as one of your entry models. You just want to make sure you are in fact in a buy program and it's running for a specific point of liquidity, which in my mind it's either this swing high, these equal highs, or these equal highs here. We don't know. It could be one or the other. If I'm a betting man, I'm gonna say it's this one. I'm gonna say it's this one because if we look at the higher time frame, if we look at the 15-minute chart right here, what's immediately above those equal highs? A 15-minute fair value gap. And so when you have swing highs that run into a 15-minute fair value gap, it's a greater signature than just equal highs by itself. So, and this also overlaps with a mitigation block as well. So I would say this is the stronger PD array in price. There's our mitigation block, or a mitigation swing low. Dang it. So we just hit those equal highs. I'm expecting some type of retracement here. Anytime you hit a high, you should see some type of reaction. You'll see a reaction typically. It doesn't mean we're reversing. It means we're reacting to this high. Now, if we close below this, that's the signature in price telling me we may want to see price move lower, maybe to these equal lows here that are sitting right here. We don't know. We have to watch price for more information. And when you get enough information that gives you confidence about a trade, that's when you get into a trade. So you're constantly reading price, you're constantly reevaluating, and you're making adjustments and deciding what you want to do moving for that particular price that particular signature and price. I would like price to come up higher and not turn right here. These are irrelevant. Yeah, I think this here, I'm looking at, let's look at the 5 minute. If I want it to come to a level, I would want it to be this level up here. So now we would just watch this 1 minute fair value gap and see how price reacts to it. That's basically what you do. Fair value gaps aren't, you don't just take a fair value gap, it dips into it like this and go long. You don't do that. Now this could be an institutional order flow entry drill. You don't know that until we close higher, much higher. And if we close like this, then it's an institutional order entry drill and it's very aggressive to wanting to grab this high. So this would grab my interest if we close like this. It doesn't mean I'm taking a long because I don't have a fair value gap to the left of it for me to take. Right? It's just consolidation right here. So I would not want to be taking a long. But we did dip into it and it could give it the energy to run this high. So let's see what happens. And if it does decide to come back down and dig a little bit deeper, well then that is telling me that this isn't as strong as we may have thought it was. And typically where this is at, I wouldn't consider this as strong of an institutional order flow entry drill. I really would want to see that lower down in the range, personally. But it doesn't mean it can't work. Sons of Rhythm, I'll say this. Let me say this. I have had a denial and a payout. But I knew exactly what I did. My denial and my payout and one of my payouts that I've had, or one of the payouts I didn't get, was immediately after I put in the request, I went into drawdown almost immediately. So when you put in a request, you literally just want to be careful until you get that request approved. So when you put in a request, it goes pending. Once it's pending, it will stay pending for, I don't know, a day or two sometimes. And then they'll approve it based on where your account balance is and after they review everything. But if you want to play with Apex, you got to play by Apex, their rules. And I've said that I'm willing to play by their rules because it honestly makes me a better trader. Not oversizing, not over leveraging, learning to be consistent, take the same types of trades every time. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a long-term partnership of consistent traders, not, a trader that can make, $40,000 in one trade, but then, have $5,000 losing days over and over and over. They're going to deny that. They want to see consistency. And that is the biggest thing I can say. You talk to anybody that does get payouts, they will tell you, you have to be consistent. Consistency guarantees payouts. And that is the one thing you don't hear from any of these other traders that say that they're being ghosted. You're only hearing part of the story. They're not telling you that, hey, or they're not being asked the question, were you consistent in your trading? What does your trading look like? Are you overall getting really large wins and then getting small wins? If you have a huge winning day and you make, let's say, $20,000, let's just say, but your average trade is $4,000, $3,000, they'll deny a payout. They'll deny a payout because that is not typical for your trading. They want consistency. So if you're going to make $20,000 in a trade, you need to be consistent at trading and making $20,000 in your trading. Deborah, I'm still not understanding how to identify fair value gaps in order blocks. I continue to struggle with that. Time, Deborah. Time. It takes time in charts, okay? So let's talk about that. I'll start identifying some of these, okay? So you can see this fair value gap, right? I mean, fair value gaps are the easiest thing to recognize. It's a gap in price action. So give me a thumbs up if you are seeing this fair value gap. Right now, if we look at it, this fair value gap's upper half is being respected. We'll call this is called premium. This is premium. That's premium. This is discount. It's discount of this fair value gap. So right now, premium is always on top, discount is always on bottom. Premium is always on top, discount's always on bottom. Right when I say, hey, this fair value gap, the premium side is being respected. We're trading into the premium side, the premium of the fair value gap. We're trading, it's respecting the upper half, premium. We're getting into discount. It's the lower half of the fair value gap. You can do premium and discount for this entire range. Anything above this red line is premium. Anything below this red line is discount. You can do any range and do premium and discount. So we're referring to this fair value gap only. Discount, that is correct. When you hear ICT say it's cheaper, or when somebody says it's cheaper, they're saying it's in discount. Ideally, when you're in discount, you want to go long, but that's not referring to fair value gaps. For fair value gaps, we want it to respect premium. We want it to stay in premium to give us an indication that it wants to move higher. So when we have this here, this range, ideally, you would want to see price come below this level here. People will say, hey, it's cheaper, now you want to go long. Then you would look at a potential long. Not because it's in discount. You need to see your PD array, another PD array to support price moving higher, but you want to find your entry model in discount, ideally, for a cheaper trade. So your thing here, Sons of Rhythm, you have to be willing to take a risk, okay? So if I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to take a calculated risk, right? The calculated risk is start with just doing an eval account. No copies. Get comfortable with that. See that they're telling the truth. See that before I started copying accounts, I got my first payout before I started copying accounts. Once I did and I got a payout, that I was like, okay, I'm comfortable upgrading to now a copier account. I can see the possibilities in this, but you have to take it one step at a time. If you feel uncomfortable in the process, well, then that's when you stop. Or you don't start at all and you find another way that's going to give you the same result or a different result that you want, right? You just have to find the thing that you're comfortable or go at the pace you're comfortable with. So I would just say start with one eval account. See how that works. Work on getting that eval to pay out or passing that eval account. Then get to a funding, get that funded account. Get it to where you can take a payout. Get a payout so you can go, okay, they paid me. Okay, let's take it to the next step. Just don't jump into full-blown. If you're jumping to a copied account already and you haven't got a single payout, you're going too fast. This is the long-term game, man. Go slower. Go slower. Be okay with the process, the journey. My biggest mistake is I wanted to get paid too fast and I lost money because of it. Even to this day, I'm still looking at education as my primary goal, not profits. Profits come. Profits come without me really having to think about it. When you start thinking about profits, you start making poor trades, poor judgment, you're not moving fast enough. And I've done that in multiple of my performance accounts. Just last month, I had drawdown of my performance accounts because I started looking at these accounts as I need to get them to pay out faster. And I got in drawdown. Now I'm in drawdown on my performance accounts, and I'm sitting in a spot where I'm irritated with myself because I moved from education, doing what I know I'm supposed to do, take it one day at a time, to I'm trying to get it faster. I see the success. I can see where I could go. I could see how big it could be. And I started making poor trades, went larger in my size, and I made poor judgment calls. And that poor judgment call caused me to get in drawdown, and I'm pissed off about that. And I can't blame anybody but myself, but it's because I chose to change my mindset from education, following my rules, one day, 10 handle, 15 handle wins, get in and out, close it for the rest of the day, to where I'll get a win, I'll get 2 wins, and I'm like, oh, this is great, I'm going to do more. And then I make a mistake, and then I'm like, hey, I need to fix this. I need to just get back to where I was. And then I try to get back to where I was, and then I have another loss. And then I'm like, oh, man, okay, I got it. This is horrible. How am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then I'm like indifferent about the loss, and I just want to get back to where I was. And then I see an opportunity, and I'm already on tilt, and then I make another trade, and then I'm in drawdown even more. I can't tell you how many times that's happened, and the only way to avoid that is to choose to follow your rules. Look at this as a journey of, my goal is not to get payouts. My goal is to become consistent at getting a 10, 15 handle wins, make that money, close my accounts, walk away, come back tomorrow with fresh eyes, fresh energy, and do it again the next day. I can't tell you, if your primary goal at the beginning is to make money and you get to the point where it's all about making money, you will lose it. It's so frustrating, and I'm talking out of experience here. You just don't let that happen. Don't get to that point. It's education, and it's learning. Your biggest success is following your rules. If you follow your rules, that day is a success, no matter if it's a win or a loss. No matter if it's a win or a loss. If you followed your rules and it's a loss, it's a win. It's a win, no matter what the number is. That's how we have to view it. If you decide, well, I got a loss, I need to take another trade, and now it wasn't part of your rules to take another trade, you told yourself you're going to be done after one loss, and you take another trade, well, you're breaking your rules. Do you have the self-discipline to follow your own rules? I'm not talking to you, Sons of Rhythm, at this point. This is a overarching issue in this trading industry that so many people suffer, is that they don't have the resolve, the discipline to follow their own freaking rules. I'm included in this. I can't tell you how many times that I decided to take matters into my own hands and make a trade, and I should have followed my freaking rules and I would have been green on the day, and I wasn't now because I got greedy and I tried to make more money. What I'm talking about right now is more important than making money, because there is no way you will make money if you can't get past that point. All right, look at this discount and premium. What did we do? We're now in discount. We may even violate this fair value gap. If we do, what do we see to the left? We hit this swing high. Okay, I have permission now to look for shorts. We just closed this. This is I like this. It was really fast, and I'm gonna go short right here. I'm taking one contract short, running these equal lows right here. It's really close. Let's see if we can get it. If I have a loss here, I'm done for the day. I will not take another trade. If it violates and closes above this level right here, I'm out and I'm done. Okay, it closed right on it. So you have to decide at that point, when it's this close, are you going to stay in it or are you closing it? I'm going to hold it. Personally. We just filled this fair value gap right here. I want to see if we want to continue lower. Maybe we don't. Maybe it decides it just wants to wick us out. And we'll know in this 5 minute, when this 5 minute closes in 30 seconds. So it's not about me taking a loss, guys. It's not about, well, this guy sucks, he took a loss. Everybody's going to take a loss. The thing that I hope I'm articulating on my streams, in my trading, is discipline. Is your ability to be disciplined and follow your own rules that you want to take. Okay, so this is a dead trade. I am out. I closed that account. I have had 2 losses on my personal account. I now am done with that account. I refuse to trade that anymore. I am logged out of that account right now. This is what trading is working out your discipline. And now that we had another violation of price, tells me price action isn't the best today. This probably will work out, but price action is sloppy. I don't like pricey or sloppy price action. I don't like sloppy price action. It's probably going to drop. This would be really nice. And I chose to get out because why? I followed my rules. I followed my rules. Do you see this, guys? I'm missing this trade because I chose to follow my rules. I got out at this high because I closed my position, and now it literally dropped to these equal lows. Now you're going to say to yourself, well, hey, maybe I should change my rules because this trade worked out. That's your prerogative, but you better have a freaking set of rules that you follow so you don't get burned every time. I have just learned that if it violates this fair value gap that was already violated and it turns into an inversion gap, I do not want to see it being closed above. Well, that's what happened. I closed my trade, and guess what happens? It delivers beautifully to the target. I missed the trade. That's okay. That's part of the game. You have to be willing to follow your rules despite seeing something else in price action that says, oh, you should have stayed. Your thoughts are going to start lying to you and telling you to violate your rules. Hey, see? You should have not followed your rules. You see? I guess it does work. Maybe you should change your rules. No, you follow your rules and you're disciplined despite what you see in price. This is what living by faith is, if we throw the spiritual aspect into this, right? Living by faith is choosing to believe something you don't see. Well, I'm following my rules despite what price is showing me because I know more often than not it's going to protect me. It's going to protect me. I mean, if you don't believe me, go back in price action and look at all the times that it protected you. Look at this one right here. Look at this one right here. Why not this one? Well, why didn't, if this, look at this violating. It should have ran to this high. It didn't. It closed below it, right? Well, if you wouldn't have closed your trade, you would now be hurting even more. You cannot change the rules that work. Now that we grab these equal lows, I'm going to take this probably on my eval account. We're still using this. Well, I'm not using this fair value gap in particular. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. So the question is price going to respect this or disrespect it? Or is it going to continue lower? Oh, I have reason to believe it wants to go lower, so I'm not going to, I take back what I said. I'm not going to take this long. And it may work out. You have to make subjective calls based on your higher time frame analysis. I think we're going short. I really do. It just sucks that I got stopped out when I did and I missed my opportunity and now my account's closed and I'm done for the day. Now my struggle is this. Currently, this is my issue. I'm telling you a real issue right now that I currently struggle with is I'm great for my discipline on stream. After stream in the afternoon, I get bored and I want something to do, or I don't have anything in real estate going on. And then I'm like, this move looks good. Let's just take a small trade. And then I violate my own rules. I'm talking this passionately because I know it needs to be different. I know that I can't trade and get to where I want to be and have the success I want to have if I trade like that. I just never will. Do you think a multi-million-dollar day trader does this? Somebody that makes millions of dollars does this? Guarantee you they don't. So if I want to be a multi-million-dollar day trader, I need to act right now as a multi-million-dollar day trader. I can't act and be this rookie, this amateur trader that takes these half-ass setups, these crappy setups that are, or violating my rules because I want to. You think I'm going to do that when I have 25 mini contracts and my leverage is extremely high? You think that's smart to do that then? No. A multi-million-dollar day trader isn't going to do that. So I need to act that way today. I act and operate as if I am a multi-million-dollar day trader. Doing that, you will see more success in your trading than you will by trying to chase trades, trying to get a win here, try to get a win to do that. You will have more success. We are in the 11 a.m. macro time. Look how many times this is closed in this fair value gap. I don't like it. I see lower price action to come. So here's our change in state of delivery on the 5-minute. If we pull a swing high to the swing low and we do our OTE, which is an optimal trade entry, our trade entry is right here in this fair value gap. If price comes up into this level right here, into this fair value gap, or into this 1 minute fair value gap right here, and this inversion, or this fair value gap here, I would consider taking a short. And this is an eval short. My personal account is closed. I'm irritated because I should have gotten that freaking trade there, but it violated my rules and I missed it. But I choose to look past that. You want to have success. Your success is in following your rules. Right there, folks. We violate this, we will run at least this low, if not this low and this low. So these are the two. I'm watching this low on the 1 minute. $30 just closed. $30 closed. We're now waiting for the 1 minute. I say the 30 because there's a chance that it could run without you. It's $160 to activate a performance account. Let me rephrase that. It's $160 one time to keep that account forever, or you can do a monthly fee of $100. So I pay the $160 because I want to keep them long term, but sometimes in the past I've blown them. I would agree with you, Peter. It's just not my model. This trade is in discount. We had a major reaction. If I'm going to take a long, it's going to be this right here. So I'm looking at two things. If we melt and close below this 1 minute, I'm going short. If we close above this 1 minute, I'm going long to these equal highs. I really don't want to go long. To be completely honest, I don't want to go long. Because I think we're going short. But if it gives it to me, you have to make that decision. Do you want to go against your bias for a quick scalp? Do you want to go with your bias? Okay, we're obviously going to close. I'm going to wait for a retracement. I'm not going to take this. Not going to take this. I told you, what did I say here? This is your short right here. 1, 2. This is your short right here. I'm going to wait to see if it wants to hit this high before I take anything. I got different confluences that are saying different things. I want to be short. This is a short signal, right hitting this 5-minute order block, or 5-minute order block and change in state of delivery. We landed on it to the tick. To be honest, a confirmation of that would be a violation of this low right here. Playing this inversion. It's sitting right here. That's why I didn't want to take a long. I'm going to go short right here. Went short based on the 30-second. The 1 minute did not close yet. Let's see if this screen works. See, I don't know why my screen's not working, guys. That's where my trade's at right now. It's not working, so we're gonna just follow it like this. That's where I am short right now. Break even is this low right here at 24 handles. Next target is this at 40 handles. You got this target at 47 and this target at 57. First target is this at 24 handles. A close of the trade is a violation of that right there. The 1 minute has not closed. The 30-second, which is what I took this long off of, did. And that would be right here, so I better use that as my stop. Now I could have made a mistake by using the 30-second instead of the 1 minute. The 1 minute's a higher time frame and probably more reliable, but I was concerned that we were going to get a lot of momentum and it was going to start running without me. So maybe I chased it. Okay, closed above, closing that trade for now. We'll not look at the 30-second, we'll consider the 1 minute. Still watching this 1 minute. We got 45 seconds. Okay, there's the close below. That's the fair value gap for the 1 minute. So it is a little bit larger. It's not ideal. So if you don't want a 20 handle stop loss, make it 10. Make it 10. My rules are that close above that level there. $10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, right now. If we get a little bit of a push, I'm going to move my stop to break even. Not that push. I want it to go the other direction. Okay. It's very wiki, Deborah. It's very wiki. Here's the thing too. People probably watch this and go, "Wow, this guy can't trade. This guy can't do anything." That's not. I mean, we had four trading days in a row of wins, and today's price action just is not given it to us. It's either not giving it to us, number one, or number two, I'm missing it, and that's absolutely a possibility. I'm going to cut this position, guys. Even before. Look at that again, guys. Isn't that insane? Isn't that frustrating? This is considered a low resistance liquidity run. I still want to see lower prices, but at this point I am officially done trading for today. We've been missing the market. You think your risk is too low? What are you doing for your risk? Oh, are you talking about your stop loss is too tight? That's very possible. Yeah, I made that mistake when I first started out. My stop loss was too tight. I was afraid to lose money. I hate losing money, but I was afraid to lose money at first. Sometimes it still tries to come back and take me, but but you got to give it room to breathe. Yeah. Then the next question that you got to ask yourself, Deborah, is does an appropriate stop loss go? So you can do a hard stop loss, which works. It protects you, but you want to have an appropriate stop loss. So ICT talks about using, if you were to go short on this fair value gap here. So let's assume you went short here. You went short in this fair value gap because you're like, it's going to go lower. My target is down here. Your stop loss needs to be the candle that created the high of the fair value gap up to its high. So this would have been your stop loss. So that's an appropriate stop loss for a fair value gap. You can do something similar to for my inversions, for an inversion fair value gap. An inversion fair value gap is when it looks like this. So we went short here. Your stop loss is a close above that. It happened right there. When you have a stop loss of, so that's my stop loss for an inversion. The only one that I do a little bit different is my breaker. Do we have a clear breaker in here? This would be a breaker from this candle over. It would have been 10 handles, and so I would have been stopped out on that one. Or you could do it 20 handles and I would not have been stopped out on that. So you just have to make the appropriate stop loss. It's not a breakout. It's a close of an inversion. It's a disrespect of a fair value gap. I don't trade breakouts. I hate breakouts. It's an inversion. So this is the candle that I'm playing a downside move to. So you have the close below this, and then you should expect it to see it run this low as long as we're not in a seek and destroy type day, or a day that has lots of wicks, or a day that starts to violate them. Okay? This one was violated. I could show you countless other trades where the success of these are huge. I love these trades. there's just days that they don't work. Just as there's days when you try to buy in discount when you bought this low and it doesn't go higher. It just drops against you, right? So same way that there's days when you're taking your long, when you took your long at this fair value gap to go long, just as when there's days that those don't work out for you, they actually go against you, but you felt confident in the trade, the same is for this inversion fair value gap. When we close below it here, I'm not doing it to take a breakout trade. I'm taking it because we violated this fair value gap. I don't take breakout trades. We violate the fair value gap, and because it's violated, it's indicating that order flow wants to move lower. And there's days that it doesn't work out that way. Why do I wait for candles to close? Because the bodies of the candle show you order flow. The bodies of the candles tell the story on where price wants to go. The wicks of the candle do the damage. The wicks are what grab liquidity, right? So let's look at, today's not a great example because today's price action isn't very good in the sense that it's very wicky. And let me see if I can find an example. So here's an example in price right here. When you look at this candle here, I guess it isn't. We closed above it barely. So that disrespects, there's been a lot of disrespecting of the candles today. I'll give you an example here shortly. I want to see this run lower though. So you had another question here. Do a favor and draw a Fibonacci tool on the initial balance from low to high with R levels 66 and 75. I'm not going to do that, Peter. I don't trade that. I'm not going to look for another model either. And I will say this, Peter, I appreciate your willingness to chat, but if it's going to be contentious on the trading model that I have and that I teach, then you can leave. This environment that we're going to have on this stream is going to be positive. It's going to be encouraging, and it's going to bring, we're going to help each other, but we're not going to say that one strategy is better than the other. That's not, you'll never see me say that on this stream. So if you can't do that, then you can leave. If you can and you want to participate in that way, then I'd love for you to hang out with us. Okay, I'm looking for this to close. We want to see this close right here. A close below this will give us more indication for order flow. Right now, we've already respected the premium side of this fair value gap once, twice, 3 times. I'm telling me exactly what you say. I don't understand, Peter. So the 5-minute has been violated here. No, that's a 15-minute. So we've had a 15-minute violation on here. And the 5-minute, yeah, to me, we're in a market maker sell model, and we should see lower prices. This is going to be the indicator here. Correct. Yes, but we also have a larger range here. I went short here. We are right around equilibrium. So I wasn't really trying to go short in premium or short in discount. I was going short while with the context that we were in premium moving to discount. So you can pull any level you want as far as the targets or far as your range goes. So if we look at the 5 minute, my 5 minute range is from this low to this high. Everything above this line has been the premium, looking for it to move into discount. So that's why I've been looking for shorts. Also, we're in a higher time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's look at this. I mean, I know, I understand what you're saying, but I'm looking at a bigger time frame here. Here is the range from yesterday. This is premium. We're in premium. I'm looking to go short. That is a premium position looking to go short, which this equilibrium is inside this fair value gap. This is the higher time frame analysis that I refer to over and over. And sometimes sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want. We got 15 seconds for this to close below. And if we do, I'm assuming it's going to be an aggressive move through these. I could be wrong, but that's what I would want to see. No close below. And we closed in the premium side again. I think PM session might present something. I'm not going to be doing anything at this time. Yeah. It's smart to get off. It's smart to get off. Here's a small fair value gap sitting right here that we wicked up into. Let's see if it wants to violate it or if it's going to respect it. We respected the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. Let's see if we want to move lower. What do you mean, Diane? That's the only thing I don't understand. Because of the delay, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. Now that we grab this low right here, my question is, do we want to move higher and stay in some seek and destroy conditions, or are we wanting to move lower through these lows? Premium and discount on the lower time frames. The way I use premium, discount, and lower time frames is for entry models. Okay, so let's say right here is a manipulation leg. from this low to this high. This is from the low to the high that was created is the manipulation leg. Here's our breaker. There's our breaker in line with our 5-minute change in state of delivery. So when we come up and we come lower right here, we're now in discount. I want to take, when we're in discount, this is sitting in a discount position, that's fine. But ideally, what we would want to see if we really were going to wait for a trade, it would have been this wick right here. But I just didn't want to take it that soon. This would have been your opportunity to go short. Why? We had a market structure shift. We ran below these lows and these lows right here, and we came up into this fair value gap. This is ICT's model 2022, and you go short when you're in premium. So that would be an ideal setup to go short. This is what Peter's talking about. He's like, why didn't you go short when you're in premium? I was going short based on a higher time frame analysis, assuming that we have a much larger range to the downside. See, the range that I'm looking at is this entire range here. This is premium. That we're still sitting around in premium. This is why I've been wanting to look for shorts the whole time. You have fair value gap at 19,444. Is that this one here? 444. Wow, I don't know what you're looking at. Because this 444 is way down here. So now that we know this fair value gap was violated, and we do feel like, I feel like price wants to move lower, would you want to take a long here even if it works out? That's a question you have to decide. Do you want to take a long based on your higher time frame analysis? Well, if we look at this and we consider seek and destroy as an option, we did run this low here. We grabbed liquidity and we started changing directions. So this is not a bad trade idea, to be honest. You just have to understand the appropriate risk and be careful, and this would have worked out. I didn't take it. On the 15-minute, okay. 15-minute for... I still don't see it. Oh, 408 is your low level. Okay, let's make sure you have the right charts, because you may have the wrong chart. This happens at the beginning of people's trading career. First off, do you use No, I am not green today, Joseph. I am not green. I had 2 losses on my personal account, closed that. And then I took one eval trade, or one trade on my performance account, and that was also a loss. So I had 3 losses. I'm done. I'm not gonna take any more. I'm not gonna put myself through anymore. I just joined again, and thank you. Christmas freaking music. I like Christmas music. I just don't know why it always does that. It goes to Christmas music. Thanks for catching that, Joseph. All right, so Deborah, let me tell you what everybody needs to have. This is not what I have. This is just ICT, and many people do this. Okay, so you want to make sure. Do they have that option here? Where is it at? Your contract needs to say NQU 2024. That's the contract you need to be on. Sometimes when people are putting in, what they do is NQ. Can you see that on my screen at all? No, let me move it over. Can I move it over? I can't move it over. They'll just type in NQ and go to the regular NQ contracts. So that would be this contract right here, and they're different numbers. But these are even higher numbers than what you were looking at. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, I have no idea what you're looking at there, Deborah. All right, if you're looking at my screen and you have your chart up, let's look at the 11:16 candle. Check out the 11:16 candle on the 1-minute chart. Shoot, Joseph, I'm sorry, man. I feel you. Be done. Get out. And have a good day, man. Have a great weekend. I'm trying 5-minute. I'm trying fair value gaps on the 5-minute setup, but trading on the 1-minute. Okay, so if you were to do that, here's what you would want to do. It's not a bad idea. All right, so let's just look at the past price action that we saw right here. So here's and today is probably not the best example. Let's take this example right here. Okay, we have a 5-minute fair value gap right here. Now let's look at that on the 1-minute. We violated this 5-minute right here, and that closed at 49. So 48.49. So that close of that fair value gap, of that 5-minute fair value gap, was right here. 10.49. 10.49, Alki. If you're going to do that, this trade would have lost. However, if you're going to do a 5-minute, you need to go down to the 1-minute and then find another fair value gap for it to violate for your confirmation. So in this case, the 1-minute fair value gap was this one right here. You would have wanted to wait for this to break lower to confirm this 5-minute fair value gap close for an entry. Doesn't mean price isn't going to go lower, but it means if you're going to take a trade on the 1 minute, take a trade with confirmation on the 1 minute. So your 5-minute is your higher time frame confirmation that the move wants to go lower, and you want to confirm that for your entry on the lower time frame with the same type of consideration or PD array to go lower. This one didn't work out, so the trade didn't work. Here's one right here that did work, but you got to ask yourself, do I have the balls to hold through all that crap? This was a 5-minute break higher, and we respected the consequent encroachment the whole time on the 5-minute. But then look at the 1 minute. You would have had to handle all of this crap. So the first thing I would have done, if I'm taking this trade, is this candle right here at 9:15 closed above, and so at 9:19 is the confirmation of that. That close right here. I would have gone down to the 1 minute, looked at the 1 minute, and looked for a break above this candle right here. Where do I get that? I get that right here, and I would have had to target the next swing high, which was right here. And we get that. But if you're going to do that, you just have to make sure you're using lower time frame confirmations as well. So, Deborah, just for future reference, Deborah, are you still on here? If you're still on here, I wanna get your charts situated. What are your levels for the 11:16 candle? The 11:16 candle, the high of the fair value gap is 19,522, and the low is 19,519.25. There is nothing to this upside on the 5-minute. The only thing we have is a 15-minute on the. We don't have anything on the 15-minute either. This is horrible price action. This is just price action. I'm not willing to take another try at anything in here. You have that maybe on the 1 hour, overlapping this 1 hour breaker as well, and in line with that high. That would be the only thing. But all this other stuff has just been disappointing. You're on the right contracts. September 2024 is correct. So if you're on that contract, Deborah, Tell me what the high and low of the fair value gap on the 1116 is. It's this level right here on my chart. The blue letters there. Tell me what that is. Okay, that'll be my next thing. Are you on a micro account or are you on the Nasdaq, the NQ? Are you telling me levels that are on your micro account or on the mini account? The minis are everything that I chart and I show you will always, always, always be on the mini account or NQU. What I take executions on many times is the contract letters MNQ. So right now we're on NQ. That's everything that we do. Okay. So if you're doing that, tell me what the level is for the 1116. No, 11, the time at 1116. The candle on the 1 minute chart at 1116, there's a fair value gap right here. I drew this fair value gap out. What are your highs and lows for that? I have it right there. It's highlighted in blue. The fair value gap high is 19,522. The fair value gap low is 19,519.25. You can be on a different platform, but you should still have relatively the same numbers. I do know that when I was on different charts, they may come out a little bit differently. That happens. It sucks because it's hard to really track what everybody's doing when you have different levels. But you should see, at least, even though you might not have the exact same closings, you should still see a fair value gap at 1116. The chart should still show you a fair value gap at the time of 11:16 a.m. Yeah, so your low is different. But you still have that fair value gap at 1116. So if you have questions, what I would say, since we don't have the same numbers, tell me the fair value gap and the time of the fair value gap, and then we'll be talking about the same thing. Since you do charting on something different, we'll still have the same fair value gap, we just won't have the same levels. Yeah. So my high is 522, yours is 531. That's okay. At least we know we're talking about the same fair value gap now. So if you have any questions about a level, you can tell me the time of the fair value gap and then we can help you from there. All right, look at this price action here, guys. Screenshot this price action right here. Look at that, and I'm going to show you some other price action. See how far back I can go. And look at that price action. Let me put it next to each other. Look at the price action on your left, and look at the price action here. Let me do this one here, so we can just do this. Look at the price action on your left. This is today's price action. And look at the price action on the right. Now, initially you might not see much difference, but I see a ton different. The bodies are smaller, the wicks are, the bodies are in flow, though there's less wicks, and there's not a ton of back and forth. See all this back and forth right here? All that back and forth. See this back and forth right here? You don't see that on this chart right here. You just see how price flows, order flow. You see beautiful fair value gaps. You see great breakers. That's a breaker there. What else do we see? Do I see an inversion? Order flow just is nice and smooth. It's just not as congested. It's more willing to flow and move in a specific direction compared to the up and down price action that we see here. Becoming, and I'm still learning this, I'm still becoming more confident in recognizing it and being confident in my decision. I said that today's price action was probably going to be choppy, yet I still wanted to see if I could get a trade. The next thing that I need to improve on is being confident in my personal decision that today's price action looks choppy. I should just walk away. I should just be done for the day, because based on what I'm seeing and I'm confident in my decision, price action probably is going to suck. But I didn't do that. Deep down, I was hoping that we could still get a trade. Deep down, I was hoping I could still get a couple moves. Deep down, I didn't think I was going to have a problem. I followed my rules. I'm done on my accounts, but I'm negative today because I wasn't confident in myself on being able to recognize this type of crappy price action and compare it to days that price moves beautifully and wonderfully and smoothly compared to others. You can just see it, and you can identify the consolidation areas. And when price starts to move, it moves in that direction. Here's an inversion fair value gap sitting right here. And then it runs lower. Stops at the fair value gap, inverses this fair value gap right here, and drops significantly. It's just clear. It's obvious. Here's an institutional order flow entry drill. And in line with a breaker. High, low, higher, high, breaks lower, institutional order flow entry drill into this fair value gap, overlapping with a breaker, and drops. You look at this price action, and it's crap. Being able to identify that and believe in your analysis is area for improvement for me in this area. I'm confident in my ability to read price action on where it wants to go. But I've yet to prove to myself, I've yet to convince myself that I should have just walked away completely and not traded at all. This is part of the growing process of a trader, and an area that I am improving in every day. Deborah, if you're still here. If you're still here, Deborah, you gave me a level, but you didn't give me a time. I need to have your time. The time of the fair value gap. What time did that fair value gap form? The fair value gap that we've been talking about. So what are you referring to in your last in your message? Okay, for the 1 minute, I identified the fair value gap at 19,557. I don't have that level. And I'm assuming then you're talking about that fair value gap. Remember how I referenced this, guys, a while ago, that this would be our break, this would be our entry for a short? There it is. $11.42. There we go. We're on the right page here. I don't see a fair value gap at 11.42 on the 1 minute. Okay, so the next thing that we want to make sure is that you're in New York time. If you have the ability to put your time always in New York time, you will want it to be in New York time, because everything revolves around price being in New York time. That sucks. So then if you're going to tell a time, Pacific Standard Time, isn't that... No, Pacific, so you're 2 hours behind open then, right? What time does market open for you? 3 hours behind. So then just reference the time. Then just reference your time at, tell it 3 hours ahead of your time. So my time right now is 10:53, but the market is showing 11:53. I think that's simple enough. All right, guys, it's been 2.5 hours. I think I can be done for the day. I will be on here next week. Thanks for hanging out with me. It was a little bit longer stream. A little disappointing to end the day this way, but that's okay. We'll come back next week stronger and better. So have a blessed weekend, guys. We'll talk to you soon.